Dana, the fact that this was moved in this way that is laid out here, the question becomes, doesn't that clearly show a consciousness of guilt to preemptively say this has to go somewhere else?
Absolutely. I mean, as Gloria said and you said, the allegation here is a cover-up, period, full stop. Because the White House officials that he is describing here were ordered, as you guys just read, to remove this. It means that people in the president's White House, his own staff, thought there's something not right here. This is not appropriate. That's big in and of itself. But also when it comes to the impeachment inquiry, opens up several new avenues for them to go down, talking to these officials. What happened? A dozen. What happened? It says that they were directed. Who directed you to do that? Find the person who directed them to do that. Why did you do that? If I may, there's one other thing in here which broadens it even further than just moving the transcript and the documents. And that is on page 4, talking about the fact that following the phone call, two ambassadors, including Ambassador Volker, went to Kiev to talk to President Zelensky to, quote unquote, help navigate the demands that the president put in there. I mean, it's not just that the president did it, it's that his people from the State Department had to go to Ukraine to try to say, okay,
using the machinery of government to pursue a political agenda.
This is what Jane Sharp keeps in her personal nail kit, one she now takes with her when she gets her nails done, after she says a February trip to a local salon left her with a serious infection.
I was totally shocked that you could walk into a nail salon and have this happen to you.
Her official diagnosis, flesh-eating bacteria. It all started just 2 hours after leaving the nail bar. Jane says her thumb started throbbing and she developed flu-like symptoms. She got it checked out and her nurse practitioner made sure to keep in touch, something Jane credits with saving her life.
I went home with a shot of some pain medicine and so I slept. And so I really credit her and her care for waking me to see how I was feeling, or I would have slept through the night. And the doctors said if I hadn't gotten to the emergency room when I did, that I wouldn't be here.
Multiple surgeries later, Jane is now missing a chunk of her thumb. What happened earlier this year still feels like a blur, but she's got a daily reminder of what she went through, and one she says serves as a learning experience for both salons and visitors.
There are so many girls and guys that go to salons to get manicures and pedicures, and they have no idea what can happen to them. Oftentimes through the day, because I cannot feel everything with my arm and hand, I am reminded of that horrible time. But I'm very grateful that I lived through it when some don't.
New this hour, a vigil for a middle schooler in California who died after allegedly being attacked. It turned tense. The vigil did.
What's wrong? You feeling bullied?
Well, that was the Moreno Valley, California superintendent. A crowd chanted Diego and followed him through the parking lot. They say that he's refused to address the ongoing bullying problem that they allege. Now, it comes after 13-year-old Diego was punched at school last week and fell and hit his head and died Tuesday.
You should resign,
There's
man.
no excuse. You need to resign from office.
We're here tonight to work with the community, to support them in...
We are the community. You're not working with us.
Now, the superintendent had to be escorted away from the crowd by deputies. 2 boys have been arrested for what happened to Diego. The sheriff's department hasn't said if bullying was a factor.
On a windy morning on the banks of the Chobe River, the prince came to plant trees. The biggest one, an endangered baobab reserved for him. This vital elephant habitat is under threat. These the first steps to restore a forest for the next generation. Over years of visits here, Prince Harry has quietly built up a reputation as a frontline conservationist, earning the respect and friendship of renowned elephant researcher Mike Chase.
This infectious optimism that the Duke of Sussex has is now spread across the entire Chobe district.
I get most of my optimism from him, and we get most of our optimism from them. So it's a wonderful cycle.
Still, across the continent, elephant habitats are being decimated by poaching, habitat loss, and climate change.
Genuinely, I don't understand how anyone in this world, whoever we are, you, us, children, leaders, whoever it is, no one can deny science. Otherwise, we live in a very, very troubling world.
Harry has used his considerable celebrity to raise funds and awareness, and he rarely does it from the sidelines. In 2016, the Prince toiled with an African Parks translocation team for weeks as they moved a staggering 500 elephants to a safe haven in Malawi. You have been so hands-on for years with conservation. Why do you want to be in the middle of it?
I think we're all in the middle of it. The world's children are striking. You know, I think there's an emergency that it's a race against time, and one in which we are losing. Everyone knows it. There's no excuse for not knowing now.
The climate crisis and its effects on the natural world is a cause that's deeply personal to the Prince, especially here in Botswana. Why do you feel it's a second home almost to you?
I don't know, I've been coming, how long have we known each other? 15 years? 15 years. I've been coming here, it's a sense of escapism, a real sense of purpose. I came here when I was 97, 98, straight after my mum died, so it was a nice place to get away from it all. But now I feel deeply connected to this place and to Africa.
He returns to Botswana often for private visits to the bush, far from the prying press. In 2017, during another secret trip, Harry and Meghan collared elephants with Chase's team. He would propose to her shortly after. David Mackenzie, CNN, Kasane, Botswana.